Huskar together very strange because Huskar wants to push super early and Sven just wants to farm stacks and get like 2-3 items, but you don't want to really do that against a Tinker Beastmaster with this draft.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It just feels like the tempo that they want to play at is almost at odds with each other.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe the way it'll work out is Huskar will create that space, Sven will farm, they can like choke them out before Tinker gets items, but he really doesn't need much.
That's what they're kind of going to have to do, I think. I don't know, it'll be a tricky game for Mineski, but again, this is the team who almost took a game off of the undefeated Faceless, so...
Almost is the key word there, though.
Yeah, but I mean...
No, it was an impressive showing. At the same time, they've just been so close, you have to hope it hasn't gotten in their heads a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, one thing to mention is we are going to see Nana on the Tinker and Ajit on the Juggernaut, and I do think the games that we've seen from Warriors Gaming Unity, they've been a little bit better when it's been Ajit on the higher mobility hero. But still, there's so much to go with the Tinker here that you can't find fault with this lineup.
That early smoke used to plant down a pretty aggressive ward mid. And then Miracle looking to scout out a jungle invasion. Something the Axe and the Sven will definitely be wanting to take advantage of are those stacks. And he's going to break it and quickly back away.
Yeah, he's fine.
So he gets eyes on them. Won't be any surprises as Sad Winter lugs on the steam.
He can skill Warcry to run away if he really needs to, but I don't think he should.
There's a Windlace here. But by this point, the whole team's likely behind him. So
I mean, skilling level 1 Warcry isn't even really much of a loss.
Yeah.
I don't think that they would be getting a kill anyway in their lane.
30 seconds to battle.
So, laning-wise, it looks like an offensive tri-lane. Thoughts on the lane setup here?
It's Shadow Demon Jug Kunkka, right?
Yeah.
So, against Sven, Warlock, Dazzle. Yeah, they can kill.
They're dodging, though. It looks like they're going to send RR bottom.
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Mineski does not want to lane against Warriors Gaming. Especially when their whole lineup is meant to try to snowball. You don't want to put yourself at disadvantage in a 3v3.
Boy, you do sacrifice so much of the aggressive potential of the Axe Dazzle, though, by doing this.
I mean, you do, but at the same time, I feel like...
Axe is probably just going to buy... He unfortunately already bought all this regen, right? I mean, he probably buys Iron Talon and just falls back into his own jungle as it goes on, but... No, they're going to go ahead and send Dazzle down here at least.
Yeah, it's still kind of a hard kill, I guess. At level 2 and 3 is when it's really going to become scary for the Axe.
Oh, RR. Having a little scout here. It's going to walk right by X-Nova. Jules looking for the D-Warp. Gonna miss on the first one.
So
Actually,
close.
a complete whiff.
He only had one ward, too. Who did he give the other one to?
Sentry, they already planted it up here.
Okay.
And they are going to descend on the mid lane instead. Huskar is dangerously low, and he doesn't even have a point in Berserker's Blood. It's also not that good this early. They're just going to walk in and kill him. Quick slaughter for Warriors Gaming in the mid lane. And the first blood goes to Afu, so give him boots and expect a very active Kunkka now.
Yeah, this is one of the downsides to dodging against Warriors Gaming, is that the rotation that they have is so powerful. And like Nahaz was saying, the heroes kind of need to stay together, but the benefit of doing a lane like this is that they can stay together. They don't have to separate because no one's really needed in any other spot on the map. Like, sure, if the Beastmaster gets pressured a bit, it's fine. You know, he himself can go back for Iron Talon and start to jungle if he feels like it's necessary. But right now, it's pretty much just like, what, a 1v1 Sven versus Beast?
Yeah, Huskar at least farming okay so far. Almost killing off Nana, those fire spears. And he moves in. He had a ward. He definitely saw Afu in the neighborhood.
Oh god.
He's trying to bait a bit, but I don't really know if this is going to work out. Torrent comes through. The TP, though, from Jules will save him. I guess he knew Jules was ready to come and assist if they dove him.
Yeah, the interesting thing was, despite giving up first blood on the Huskar, the two supports were there for long enough that they sapped EXP enough that Tinker and Huskar are actually even in levels.
Yeah, I mean, the first blood is great and everything for the Tinker because it means he gets to his bottle boots faster. And the faster you get bots online, you know, it's just like getting a Radiance on a Naga. You just start that timer and things can get really hairy for Mineski. The one thing that I want to talk about is 7-0 Beastmaster versus 13-5 Sven. Like those,
he did get some help. He is getting some help.
For like the Warlock, 2 waves.
The Warlock is there, okay.
Alright, yeah, that makes sense.
But Miracle was solo for a while.
I think oh yeah, he does have a ward. I guess the Warlock's presence mostly is
Yeah. But now that,
limiting the
now that the
response.
Warlock's there, it makes sense.
Guys, I think Miracle's pretty good.
I mean, he is.
I mean,
He's better when he has another hero.
true. But he's really, I think there were some questions in terms of how is his form going to be returning back from a 2-year military service.
There's the Torrent. Combo onto Jules. They want to get in range here with the X. They'll be able to drag him right back. Turning on to X Nova, and he gets off the grave. Beautifully timed. Oddcheck gonna die for this. He will take some tower shots, and he jukes through the trees. Jules drags them in deep. Can they find rebuttal kills? Warlock not joining the fray. Killing off Oddjet would be a sweet trade. Unfortunately, that healing ward is too fast, and he needs to keep on microing it, juking from right to left, and now heading north. RR unable to catch him. And a clean escape for Warriors Gaming. So they bring down the Dazzle, they force out the TP, they walk away. And good news, Miracle is still farming very well, but Raging Potato having some trouble now with the Tinker mid.
I mean, that's not really much of a shock, right? You know, Nana puts a couple of points in a laser. This might even be a triple laser lane, to be honest. Sometimes the Tinkers just skip the 3rd point, but against Huskar, it's such value.
Yeah, it really is. It allows you to threaten him through his passive and avoid getting those spear stacks on you. And Nana's got a haste rune. They may try for another rotation here.
Very active laning stage from both teams.
Yeah, we've talked about this before in these casts, but just the extreme degree of emphasis that's placed on the laning stage in this region.
This is probably the most important laning phase for Mineski, I think, of the drafts that I've seen them run.
Yeah, most of their drafts have had a lot of late game potentials. They move on to mid, Soul Catcher coming through, Torrent there as well, but Dazzle in position. The art styles it! Oh, that hurts.
Feels bad, man.
Double tap ability, self-cast. Feels bad, man.
Did people use that instead of just the alt one?
Dude,
I'm not sure what he uses.
that hurts. And Jules is, by the way, on the Dazzle. I thought they would put him on the Warlock. That'll be Ninja Boogie.
He doesn't play these type of heroes very often.
Yeah,
It's normally the more aggressive, like,
I'm just wondering why you do
farming-oriented
that.
roamers. Like, we've seen the Bounty Hunter, we've seen the Ogre as bottom lane. There is going to be a maneuver here. Looking for the backstab. It's on the Warlock. Things are crumbling for Mineski Ninja Boogie. Getting beaten down. Ajit will finish him off, and now Afu with the X can look for follow-up damage. They TP and Jules as well, but he has no mana here. I can't actually do anything. He just now has a heal. Afu's gonna die for this. Gets the call off. Great play by RR around the trees, but Nana comes in for the sidelines. The heal already committed, and RR is gonna die as well. So they get the kill on the core axe, losing only Patunka for that, and along with that, of course, the Warlock.
And Nana does get value out of that haste rune. The bright spot from Mineski, of course, is that Sven is just eating creeps up top.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. I mean, the thing about Sven that's really cool when you're playing in the off lane and no one's bothering you is you can shove with cleave and then you can just pull creeps.
Yep.
Oh, he wants to go. Miracle coming through the trees. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Works on Kangaroo. He needs that last auto attack. Actually, with the Shadow Word, it's going to be close. Tries for the salve. Not going to happen. As the Warlock has leveled up the Shadow Word, and now Miracle has his Dominator. If he wants it, it's going to be able to work on that tower, contest these creeps. Big pick off there, and a very clever maneuver to come around from behind.
I don't see enough of that, honestly. I think that
I agree.
there's so many cool things you can do with Quelling Blade in the safe lanes of either side of the map. Like you can Quelling Blade all the way behind the tier 1 in either safe lane, it doesn't matter where it is. And you just give them the surprise god strength, and then they're just dead.
Yeah, I'm really going to be looking at the support play out of Mineski as this game goes on.
Oh man, Ajit going in against RR. There is no heal available again. Jules is out of mana. This Dazzle just unable to save his teammates multiple times now.
This is what I was going to talk about. They've just been so good throughout this tournament. Their support play has probably been as good or better than anybody, bar Faceless in this region. Ninja Boogie playing the 5 and Jules playing the 4, and they seem to have switched it up this game. I just don't know why you go away from something that's worked so well for you.
I mean, whatever they're doing this game, it ain't working. So, I mean, it's still very early on. There's obviously chances for them to turn it.
This would be big though. Killing off Raging Potato. Now they're going to disrupt. That buys time for the roar to cool down. And with the Soul Catcher, Huskar is looking mighty mortal. He too will fall. That's a Soul Rain for Nana, level 7 already. Huskar, just a non-factor thus far.
This is why we were kind of questioning it as the 5th pick, that you've got multiple sources of pure damage, and you've got a long single target stun with the Beastmaster. It's not kind of the classic 5th pick Huskar scenario.
I mean, we saw a similar game for Fnatic earlier when they picked Ursa into, like, literally the worst heroes to play Ursa against, and it didn't end well. So I'm kind of curious as to what the reasoning is, because the only thing that I can think of is that they have double heal within their 2 supports.
Yeah.
And they were kind of just hoping that, you know, Raging Potato owns his lane somehow, and then he can just get tanky enough to be able to frontline, which is a nice idea on paper, but Tinker is, like, real good against Huskar and lane, like, real good.
Yeah, and they had the better, like, pressure supports in the laning stage, so it's not looking great here for Mineski, but they do have a free farm Sven, and Axe doing fairly well. Vanguard available if he wants to purchase it.
Although the Sven CS edge over Ajit's Juggernaut is not all that large, and when you add the kills in, Juggernaut actually holds a slim lead in the net worth department.
Yeah. I mean, the nice thing about Sven is that once you get your core items, so you get like Treads, Dom, Blink, Echo, and then it doesn't matter if the enemy Juggernaut has like the equal amount of farm, because he'll just never be able to kill you.
And you're gonna outfarm him 9 times out of 10 as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one cool thing about having that type of hero on your team, is his ability to absorb space is like almost unparalleled. It's like anti-mage level.
There's a boat, a sword, and it connects on 2, the double wombo, but that's it. 1 Shadow Wave basically negates the whole thing. And they do have the rock at the ready, along with the God Strength. Mineski starting to cluster up here, but they don't have RR. He's holding the line bottom. Just going to scout out Ajit and threatens the call. Not going to go, as Bimbo comes from behind. He goes for the dunk, and Xnova hesitates there on the disruption. He ends up disrupting an enemy. He's done for. So first movement out of the lane by Potato. A lot more successful than staying in it. But it does come at cost, as in mid. Kangaroo will start to push. Bottom lane being freely farmed by Ajit, who's too fast for RR to catch. Can they get this tower soon? They're going to try for it.
Yeah, I think you're fine as Warriors Gaming Unity giving up this tower. Your Tinker is a couple hundred gold off his boots to travel as he just now buys the recipe. And Juggernaut is really making the most of the space down here in the Radiant Jungle.
I mean, I guess it's really in Mineski's best interest to kind of stick together for a while and let like Miracle do his own thing.
Yep.
Because the Huskar is not really that useful on his own. He's only good if he has the support cast. Like, there's no one he can really pick on, so to speak, on the side of Warriors Gaming. So as long as they recognize that weakness and he's able to kind of recover in regards to farm, then I think they're still like able to get back on track.
Now, it should be said that Warriors Gaming Unity have found themselves in this position multiple times before throughout the playoffs here. They recognize the importance of protecting this huge ancient stack, paying that out. But they've including when these two teams faced each other in group phase play. Warriors Gaming Unity had quite a lead coming out of the laning phase, and Mineski was able to be patient, pick their spots, and win that one big fight to turn it into a huge amount of map control.
Armlet is now complete, just needs to deliver it to himself. So Raging Potato, bit back on track. Miracle is going to clean up his ancient stack uncontested, and Mineski, with this, should pretty much equalize the farm discrepancy.
Do you agree with Axe here going for the Vanguard over Blink?
Yeah,
seems pretty standard nowadays. I haven't seen many Axes just rush a Blink.
I think I've seen it once or twice, once today, and most of the time it's just Vanguard to be able to accelerate your farm that much more, and also so you don't just flop over when you try to Blink initiate into the enemy team.
Vanguard's real good against Beastmaster as well.
Yeah.
And the illusions.
Fair enough.
But it and I think for Mineski, because of the sped pick, they're probably not really looking for like big fights, even though they could otherwise. Oh, they walk into the Roche pit as the Radiant, a bold maneuver. Xnova is wise to this. Poison's going to come in. It is level 3, so he can really stack it up. The March,
they're just going to march.
Also coming, and this is going to hurt. Raging Potato does have the armlet, so he'll be fine. And they have the Golem. The Roche is too low to just walk away. Warriors Gaming could definitely come and steal this as RR lumbers in 500 gold away from the Blink Dagger. Would love to have that to initiate a team fight. Yeah. And the March spam continues. They don't have a God Strength, guys. This is dicey. This continuous zoning by Nana as he tries to force them back. Bimbo is stuck in the pit, a little bit isolated from the team. The boat's going to come in. Beautiful connection there. The rock, though, to counter. That's going to be on 4, but do they have the follow-up disruption on the axe, forcing him back and away. Now he's purged, and his own illusions turned against him. For the time being, the spin to follow this one up. The roar as well. Will they get off the grave? Nicely done by Jules from the high ground. Stun under the jug. Has the Omni still. The Torn coming through. First pick of the fight is RR down. And he's got to buy back immediately. The Golem also cleaned up, and all of a sudden, on the high ground, Nana is ready to go. Really good teamwork here from Warriors Gaming. The boat's only a minute on cooldown, and again, the Torrent, the X is going to find another, but he does armlet out of it. He's going to try to turn this Raging Potato, sticking around and staying alive for the time being. Jules moving in, RR, straight into the back lines. He's got a chop ready. Is he going to find it on Nova? He's so low, might even tick down just to the damage over time. Not dead quite yet. And Miracle trying to move back into the pit. We'll kill off the Hawk. Oh, Courier went down in the middle of this.
And that fight, you just saw the armor, bonus armor on display.
He's going to get the Roche. It will go the way of the Radiant. Huskar the one to grab it, and now it's time to slam. Jumps on the Kangaroo, gets the kill, but it comes at the cost of an Aegis. They also lost the Axe. It's a dieback by him. The Sven's dead in the pit, and Nana still wants a piece of the potato, who's slowed down, has a TP. He's going to die as well. It's going to be a 5-man wipe with a dieback on the Axe. I believe Jules might have TP'd out, but Jesus.
Just
not worth it, guys.
I really thought that they'd take the advantage for a clean, take the opportunity for a clean disengage there. I mean, you saw the bonus armor on display as Omni Slash just tickled Huskar, but nope. Mineski stick around and get punched.
This is kind of one of the inherent issues with Mineski's draft and how we were kind of saying they needed to snowball really hard. See a disruption here.
Uh-oh, Jules in a lot of trouble. Does have a single heal available, but so much damage over time streaming in, and Warriors Gaming is unfazed by that Roshan.
Yeah, they made a really good commitment because they understand how strong Tinker can be when you have the Beastmaster Hawk to teleport you. Because normally, you know, I don't think he has Blink yet, right?
Nope.
So if he doesn't have Blink, he cannot get to the high ground.
He did. He
did
picked it up relatively recently.
Okay.
I think he might have gotten in the middle of that fight. Not sure he had it.
I don't think he had it before.
Well, either way, the positioning was great from Nana there, and being able to bot onto the Hawk is obviously added benefit.
And they didn't have a Blink on Axe. He actually bought back and still doesn't have it, so they had, it's not even a great way to catch him, but they literally had no way to do it.
Yeah, that's kind of why I mentioned it earlier. The Vanguard, I realize it's a standard farming choice, but you've got to figure that you're going to get into fights. I mean, you have the kind of lineup that needs to snowball, needs to force the action.
Oh, they're just abusing the Kunkka as well. That X-Torrent has just been devastating. Afu, I think he got them 2 kills that fight to start it. And it's like no risk kills, right? And really low cooldown. Whereas Mineski, when they want to fight, they're committing long cooldowns, whether it's the level 2 Grave or the Rock, and then Warriors Gaming just reset and start spamming March again and go for round 2.
Yeah, you said the key words there at the very end, and that's spamming March. You saw Tinker's March spam just kept Mineski out of the fight down by the Roche pit. Warlock was able to finally get in, walk in and get off a multi-hero rock, but nobody else was in position.
This would be a heartbreaker for Mineski if they don't end up taking this series after how hard they worked. Closest to beating Faceless.
Oh, and let's be honest. I mean, throughout the entirety of this regional qualifier, they have looked like the second best team behind Faceless. Not even close, really.
Yeah, I actually do think that it would be more than an upset if Warriors Gaming were to take them down here. But I mean, they're making a really strong showing here in game number 1. You could also say that a large part of that is attributed to the fact that Mineski picked Huskar. I mean, that's
in a pretty bad Huskar game.
Sometimes a last pick Huskar can be great. This game, he has a really good team to support him. It's just that the heroes that he's playing against don't care that he's Huskar.
Yeah, you also have to wonder if stamina comes into play here. Mineski just played 2 super long games.
I don't think stamina makes you pick Huskar.
All right, fair enough.
Well, I mean, normally the game's going to be quick, one way or the other, right? So
I mean, that's actually a good point. Maybe
I don't think that's why they picked them. I think they just legitimately felt that they could make it work.
Yeah, of course. I don't think that Potato just randomly picks stuff. He obviously has his plans.
potatoes and their plans.
I mean, on the bright side, Mineski are closing in on Blink Dagger. So when the Axe gets that, they'll actually have some method of initiation onto the enemy team, where we saw how annoying it was for them to try to fight into March without a Blink.
They can instantly 5-man wipe Warriors Gaming if they get a good Fatal Bonds with a Sven Stormhammer. Echo Saber is now up. Level 2 God Strength also available. You imagine Weave factoring in and a good call in the mix. Like,
yep.
For sure, Mineski can wipe Warriors Gaming if they're not careful. And
the power spike is huge.
That's where they really need to be cautious about how they approach any sort of high ground siege. And they don't seem too interested in that. They're back to farming, getting their next round of items.
Interesting that he went first item Manta
on
the jug.
Yeah, I'm seeing that more and more. I can't quite wrap my head around it.
Manta dodging, I guess, Life Break and Stormhammer maybe.
I mean, those are the two best things about it. Normally, what you see is the Yasha into the Diesel.
Yeah.
Against not a Juggernaut, against the Sven especially, because you can just purge Warcry if you manage to Omni, and that way you're actually dealing damage. Where
You've been seeing a fair amount of Drum now.
Yeah, Drum is a thing too.
You know, it got nerfed into the ground and people had gone away from it for a while, but that's kind of back as a Jug item.
That was a value sentry there for Jules, although I say that and look how many he's planted down in the area. Just trying to deal with that Hawk and the aggressive wards. Man, that is a huge... How many sentries do they have?
Man, I've seen a lot of sentry plays today.
One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sentries currently on the map.
Yeah,
he really hates that freaking Hawk.
There was a game earlier where the Naga bought like 30 or 40 sentries for his supports, and it was just like freaking Hansel and Gretel, just breadcrumbs everywhere.
And you know what? That's actually not just a meme, right? Because one of the things we've seen from Mineski throughout the tournament is that their supports have generally been way ahead of the enemy team in farm. That's a lot of investment in sentries, and you can see it's Kunkka, it's the other team support that's got the mech early on. Mineski now behind in that respect.
He's almost got greased, actually.
Yep.
He's like 200 and some odd gold. Or no, he's more than that. He's like 400 away.
By the way, he hasn't taken any points in Tidebringer, and this is a very big departure from that Lanham build where you get the arm, or attacker build, I guess, as well, where you get the armlet, you max the cleave, you kind of play a semi-core farming role, but...
Yeah, I think Jimmy builds his Kunkka this way.
Mineski are going to smoke Afu, and it's such a good position to bring it. Hey, come back here. Where do you think you're going? Torrent does come through, though, and the Sven is purged. He can be controlled with this. The Rock gets dropped to counterplay it, and they just look to shred him. They will bring him down. The dunk coming through as well to secure that kill. Afu dead, but now they're on the run. Ajit on the chase. He's got an Omni Slash available, and he will slice up that potato, making some delicious French fries in the process. Now he wants a piece of Miracle. Blade Fury comes out. Miracle on the run, but the magic damage is too much, and Ajit just keeps on chasing. He wants more Diffusal Blade kills. He snares Ninja Boogie. The call is there, but Ajit might just kill both of them. This jug is big. He's bad, and he's angry. And Tinker slams it home with a double kill laser. A 5-man slaughter in the bottom lane.
I mean, are these the same two support players that we've seen from Mineski throughout the tournament? You just dropped Rock on a support Kunkka.
I mean, I think it's more of the inability of the supports to really do anything.
Maybe so.
It's like those games where you're playing like this support Rubik, right? And you have that AFK jungle LC and you're solo supporting on Rubik, and you are just trying to do anything that you can.
Your comment is absolutely fair, my man. I've been spoiled by Mineski supports.
That's a kill. I don't know what happened exactly.
That is really weird.
I'm actually not sure. He was pretty far in.
Because you can't purge laser, right? No one has like a Lotus or anything, so how did he actually kill him?
I think the laser came out after the life break and some auto attacks.
Maybe.
Not sure.
But yeah, it's probable that he just didn't react fast enough, but that's a very odd kill.
It was pretty weird for Tinker to be on the low ground here as well.
I mean,
but still, Warriors game, like, this is the kind of lineup that can make mistakes because they have the Hawk, they have a lot of potential to project mobility and force for the Tinker on the map.
You know what I bet happened? I bet he lasered before Life Break because Life Break dispels.
Yeah, that's right. Good man. Was Ags the item here, Draskell?
For Tinker, I think it's amazing, yeah.
Okay. I mean, you do get the laser on both the Sven and the Huskar.
Yeah, well, it's more than that. It's also the idea that if you're going high ground and you have hawk vision, you can just laser the crap out of everyone.
Okay.
And you can also rocket everybody as well, which means that you're forcing them back into the well with the March spam as well. It lets the Juggernaut hit the tower with Beastmaster, and it opens up a lot of space for your melee cores to actually deal building damage.
I like that.
But I mean, I feel like for Warriors Gaming, they don't have to rush this. You know, they have the aggressive wards, they have the map control, they have excellent late game in their own right. Tinker is pretty ungankable. Sure, he dies, but it's because he jumps in onto the low ground, like at the enemy base.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Do you guys overall favor either team in the late game? Should we get there?
I mean, just given where we are right now, it's hard not to favor Warriors Gaming Unity. If the game lasts a very long time, it'll mean that they made some serious mistakes, and obviously Sven can always scale.
Radiant's
Yeah,
bottom
Sven is
tower
the
has
X
fallen.
factor where if you go super late and he has dataless and stuff, you're running the risk of getting the old, you know, Echo Saber double hit insta kill 3 heroes.
Dire's
And
middle
It's a tough Sven game as well, though.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a tough
Demonic
Sven
Purge,
game.
Roar.
Huh.
I'm not saying it's a big chance.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
it's always
there.
possible.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
So Aether Lens for Tinker now.
This is kind of like the build, isn't it? I mean, I
Yeah.
see a lot
Yeah.
of Tinkers do this.
The old like Dagon E-Blade is just not really a thing anymore. We don't really
still
see
see
Hex Rush.
Well, your damage throughput is just so much higher with this build
Right.
because you're hitting so many more people with abilities. It's like insane.
And especially you have so many like finishers, you know, the Jug Omni, the Roar follow-up, even the
Yeah.
Poison stack. So
Yeah.
Does the Ether Lens actually extend the range of the laser bounce, or just the cast range of the laser?
I think it's just the cast
Yeah.
range.
Yeah, that would actually be OP if it did.
It's just the spell cast range, yeah.
700 bouncing laser range. God, that would be completely insane.
It'd be like Bounty Hunter Shuriken on steroids.
Yeah. Alright, so Roshan being done here by WG. Doesn't look like there's any reaction from Mineski.
No, they can't contest.
Man, their lineup is just not good from behind. I mean, simply put. I mean, we talk about this Sven having
Is
the
any
ability
Husker
to...
lineup good for behind?
I mean, there are some situations where the Huskar can actually, like,
Roshan
still
has
live
fallen to the dark.
through a lot of
Yeah.
ridiculous stuff.
Yeah.
But the problem is when you're against Tinker and Beast, it's like you're gonna get roared, or the Sven's gonna get roared, and that's just a dead hero pretty much.
Yeah, Husker desperately needs that advantage in control, and
I mean, I've seen games where it's like Huskar versus Gyro or something, and even late, he can still be a real
Sure.
problem, but they have Soul Catcher, they have Roar, Purge,
yeah, particularly with the Tinker head.
and
it's-
Omni Slash is also very good against Huskar. And this Jug is big. He is way ahead of Sven. Ajit 7-0-4 and up in CS. You do not see Sven down this much to a Jug very often.
Yeah, their map control just doesn't exist right now.
So he's going BKB. Question: Do you actually go MKB on Husker?
Yeah, you do
'Cause
sometimes.
The biggest thing here, I mean, they have so much that goes through BKB, right? They've got Purge and Roar that goes through BKB. Obviously, BKB is going to stop Kunkka's combo, and BKB gets off the mischance. But of all those things, the mischance is really the big thing that's screwing you in these fights.
I would agree. I also think that BKB can sometimes be detrimental because I'm pretty sure you can't get graved if you're BKB'd. Right? Isn't that how it works?
I believe that's true. Oh, nope. Pierce's spell immunity.
Oh, you
yes.
can get graved. Okay, then it's fine. I thought for a second, I don't play much Dazzle, clearly. So,
You don't play much support.
no,
period,
I
but-
don't play much support. I just thought for a second you might not be able to grave, because I know that, like, you know, Omni, for example, you obviously can't heal repelled targets and stuff like that, but I guess it's different.
No,
so.
and in fact, I'm pretty sure I saw it happen earlier today. It's just late.
If Winter were here, he'd be flaming you, Andy. But
Of course, he's
Winter would
flaming
be
me
flaming
now.
everyone.
I'm sure he's there in chat, just happily banging away at his
Every
keyboard.
time I say something, Winter flames me.
Dude! Whenever it starts with dude, it's you know a flame is coming.
Pretty much.
We miss you, Winter. But BKB now complete on the Huskar. Coming soon, actually, is done on the Sven. So they get the double BKB. It's not really the best BKB game, but it will help a lot against the Tinker. And I think when that Ags forces out basically, 7,000 gold worth of items, you know it's a good purchase.
Yeah,
it's
but
strong.
Now that it's just kind of insult to injury that as Husker, now that you finally got the BKB to get off, deal with some of the disable, and most importantly, the mischance, Tinker's got Ghost Scepter.
Yeah.
I mean, we ain't saying it's an easy Huskar game.
No, it ain't.
It's definitely not
It's
easy.
definitely not.
This is really rough.
And then to make matters worse, you're forced into like less physical DPS, and Jug is just going pure like damage items at this point for an Agi carry.
It is notable though. I mean, Mineski has kind of stopped the bleeding here. The gold lead is held steady at 10k for almost 10 minutes now.
I mean, it's really gonna take like one of those engagements where Miracle, like BKB God Strength, just whacks somebody in order for them to really make their way back into this game. Because otherwise, the Tinker's just always gonna be pushing in waves. You're gonna feel scared to initiate. Like okay.
Well, you said they're just gonna say screw you. Hey, buddy. In the trees, they're gonna try to lock him down, but he's disrupted. He's fine. They both BKB and run at him, but he blinks out after the disruption. They've blown everything for Nana. They haven't gotten the man yet. In fact, Jin is just on the back line, chewing up the axe, and he will make it out. It looks like Raging Potato now pulled back in. X is there.
He's fine.
And with the killing ward, they're almost gonna heal back up. They still have about a minute and a half on this. The BKB's committed. The rock drops. They don't even get the stinking Tinker.
No,
and now they are going to kill off Raging Potato. Warriors Gaming. Check frickin' me. Because they utterly outplay Mineski down the stretch here.
I mean, that almost seemed like over-aggression there from Nana, but as we said in the past, Nana's crazy.
He's fine, dude. He had 8 pistol. Oh, you mean the Tinker? Yeah, that was a